Originally in Spanish, June 2023. Generating Histories. A question referring to Mari's video 2, where she talks about insertions inside the matrix, creating histories around what was inserted, etc. Another reason for the creation of the mirrors. The question is, if the outside person is inserted into our matrix here, it will create stories. What about us if we go outside the Earth? Will your matrix also create stories around us?
There is a difference. When you insert someone from 5D into 3D, it will create a mathematical story to energetically justify its existence, moving or creating components of the same story that are necessary for it to exist there. But even a paper, like a birth certificate, is not matter in the end, but is energy. And again, that is represented with mathematics, with numerical values that do alter a factor higher than them. That is the fact of insertion. This occurs because 3D does not comprehend 5D. Therefore, it does not include 5D components of understanding and consciousness that are the ones that manifest reality. Now, in the case of the 3D inserting something in the 5D, the same does not happen, because the story that validates the existence of that person or object in the 3D is valid in the 5D, because the 5D includes the 3D, while the 3D does not include the 5D. The story of how a stellar person arrived in the 3D is not valid for that matrix and for the values of consciousness that generate it, because they reject the existence of extraterrestrials, for example. So the frequency soup of the 3D human collective unconscious will manifest the explanations and the reasons and justifications for the 5D to have a reason or cause to exist in the 3D. A cause that is accepted by the collective unconscious. In other words, it is the collective unconscious that manifests everything. It is their values and what they see as possible and what they do not see as possible. But if you do the opposite, introducing something 3D or a person from 3D to 5D in space or in another planet, it doesn't matter, what happens is that the initial 3D explanation of why that object or person exists is valid for 5D. So no new explanations or reasons to exist are created, as it happens the other way around. Do you understand? Remember that everything is mind, and it is the unconscious and the perception that manifests reality, always.
Yes, I understand. Thank you. But just to pick on the topic more, why does the 3D matrix have to create stories in the first place? If I go to Norway, Norway doesn't create Norwegian stories for me, although I'm not from the Norwegian collective either. But yes, I understand. I imagine the Norwegian world understands how someone can come from the outside there.
Because Norway versus Spain or Poland is not very different, and is within the same 3D matrix realm. And traveling itself is a valid story. But for Senetre from Toleka to suddenly exist in Ireland, that is not accepted by the 3D matrix. However, those stories of why someone exists are not created out of nowhere. That is, Senetre walking in Ireland, getting off a ship, creates neither a story nor a reason to be. It's just Senetra walking an island. However, if someone starts to investigate it, first they will find nothing. But if they insist, yes, paperwork or traces can start to be created that indicate that Senetra is actually a woman from Dublin who is actually named Senya McRobinson, and that she studied in etc., etc., etc. This is where the history that supports Senetra's existence begins to be created or manifested. Parenthesis, Senetra as an example. Senetra has never set foot on Earth. She only works from the ship.
But this history starts to manifest by itself by the matrix? Or do you just insert it yourselves?
It begins to manifest if the matrix looks for it. What you seek, you find, even if it did not exist before. So don't look for what you don't want, because you will find it. Yes, it is that powerful. That is what is not well understood. And yes, it creates everything out of nothing. It manifests out of nothing. And complex and great things alike. What generates everything is the very powerful conjunction of the beliefs of the human population. That's what generates reality.
So there is no need to forge paperwork.
Yes, so why do you have to insert things for step-downs? Just wait for Matrix to do it, no?
Because if we insert stories ourselves, we have control over those stories, not the Matrix. For example, the Matrix would dictate that Senetra is Senya McRobinson, but it won't give her that name. It will give her Sonia McPherson, because we failed to artificially put it in first. It's not because the Matrix doesn't just generate it anyway, because it does, but the point is the control that we, or those we insert, have over what is generated as the Matrix reason for existing there. And you don't have to insert the whole story. All you need is to insert what you want, and the math changes accordingly to accommodate what is suddenly there and shouldn't be. You may think of math, but what you can actually see is results, like the insertion of past, of a pathway that explains in a matrixed way the why what you inserted has to exist there.
But that's insane, as it means inserting people's memories being different, etc.
You don't have to. All you have to do is insert something, and the matrix moves everything to accommodate it. It has to, or else it couldn't accept the new thing.
But that must include matrix inserting memories.
That is out of control, as you cannot play with real consciousnesses, but you can play with NPCs. But it's not you, it's the matrix itself. And by matrix, I mean the gravity and mass that justifies and sustains matter.
Okay, and going back a little, in some cases where the reason for something is generated by the matrix itself, it wasn't the human population that generated that. The paperwork was only inserted because someone at the airport, for example, and most likely organic portal, asked for it. How did that person, maybe not even a real person, have the power to generate that paper?
He doesn't generate it, or I don't understand the question.
Let's see. You said, what generates everything is the very powerful conjunction of the beliefs of the human population. That is what generates reality. And you also said that it is only generated when someone asks for that paper. But that someone was a matrix person at the airport, for example. Why does that activate the collective unconscious mass power of the human matrix to create that paper? I don't quite understand how it manifests so easily.
If the matrix organic portal looks for it with enough interest and energy, it can generate a paper indicating that Senetra is not the ET, but Senya McRobinson. But it is not that chubby organic portal guy who manifests it, but the matrix itself manifested, and it appears through that organic portal. If you look for it with low energy, at first and second, no record will appear. But if suddenly the matrix, like Interpol for example, is interested in knowing who Senetra is, it will generate papers and reasons.
And why doesn't the matrix work the same way to manifest things for the people who live here? The matrix doesn't seem fair. It manifests things for the ETs, but not things that really matter to the starseeds living on Earth. They also seek, and many do not find, partners, money, change. But I understand that's a bit of a different topic. Although, why should it be?
Yes, it works exactly the same. It's just a matter of energy and how much attention has been put into achieving the goal. They don't focus. Their energy is diffused. It's not concentrated, and they give up easily. They jump from what they want to something else and back to what they want. So nothing manifests. That is why fear is so powerful and dangerous, because it concentrates the energy on something specific, and that creates it fast, because the creative attention is not diluted.
And Interpol focuses well? More than the starseeds?
Yes, it is more focused. Besides, Interpol is matrix. It is concentrated. The starseeds are scattered and separated. They end up fighting each other. They do not agree. And this is because the matrix itself and its controllers spend their time creating conflict between them. Because divide and conquer. That is why the creative energy of the starseeds is not concentrated. So, you will not manifest your much desired umbrella on your table. There has to be a mathematical energetic sequence that explains and creates that umbrella desired by you. And that mathematical energetic sequence is seen or interpreted by you as a mundane reason or explanation for the appearance of that umbrella. That is, you bought it yesterday and now you put it on the table.